Technology changes at a very fast pace. So the technology trends. So why not to keep a specific coverage of the kind of specific technology trends which are going time to time. So in this particular video, we are going to specifically talk about the 10 strategic technology trends for 2020. We are in the present time have lots of technology, lots of different related parameters and the kind of aspects. But specifically coming to the technological domains, you need to see that what sorts of trends are going on, how you are supposed to visualize your technological strategies in future, because the one you lay foundation into present time is going to decide the next 5 or 10 years in tech domain, your existence or just evaporation. So coming to this particular web page of Gartner, Gartner is a very well-known research-based firm, you must be knowing. So here they have shown that what are supposed to be the 10, specifically top 10 strategic technology trends for 2023. They are starting with the digital immune system, then applied observability, AI Prism. Prism stands for trust, risk, and security management. Then cloud platforms, which are industry standard, obviously. Then the platform engineering, then wireless value realization, super apps, adaptive AI, metaverse, and sustainable technology. Most of these things you must have been familiar with, but we'll look onto all these things specifically in this particular video one by one. But before delving into that, you just need to see that how specifically these technological trends are going to relate with your business. Because many times we do think that we study about so many technological trends and all the things, but is there any benefit? Or if you are a kind of businessman, then you might be thinking, no, I'm not a person who is not a tech-based company. So obviously, why I'm supposed to bother about these tech trends? Because it doesn't matter whether you are a core technical company or not, but you are delving in the technological era. So obviously, the kind of applications your company is having, that must be some technological, means some technological aspect based or some technology oriented applications. So you need to be familiar with the kind of things which are floating around you. Otherwise, you are supposed to leave yourself in a position where you are not supposed to come out. So we are going to see that how specifically businesses are going to relate to these technological trends. So they are saying that usually business need to be save costs, and that's the fundamental aspects, because if you are trying to make profit, that ultimately you need to reduce your cost and need to improve your margin. So here, whenever you are going for the specific technology adoption, you need to see that how that particular technology is going to enhance the kind of business for you and your company. So when you see a potential into a kind of a specific application area, or you see the potential of a specific technology with respect to your business, then you go for the adoption for that particular technology. And that's how you increase your throughput, you increase your data, you increase your kind of production, and then you save, try to save your margins against the odds, because usually there might be some odds which you are not trying to defend, or you are not able to defend. So in that particular situation, you need to take a hand of some advanced technology so that you could defend the kind of odds and could save and maintain the progress of your intended business or company. So here, obviously, there will be always a risk and the opportunity for your organization. And both these things, risk or opportunity, depends, because if you have gone for the right sort of trend or the right sort of technology at a particular moment, then it's a kind of opportunity, because you are making a right investment, then you are going to reap the fruits later. Otherwise, if you are taking a wrong decision by leaving a specific important technology, for example, just to talk about last 10 years, the company who started its business almost 10 years back, and it completely neglected cloud computing, then you can see the kind of progress they have made, and the companies who have adopted cloud computing, and where they are now. So just by seeing these three things, even if you talk about the Amazon, why it has gone to such heights, most of the time the reason is cloud. So here, the kind of things, if you are trying to see, then one important thing comes to place, that there are certain things, certain key technological aspects which are going to drive your business. So here, when you are talking about the business, there should be some well-defined priorities, because whenever we are going to define the kind of specific aspects of your business, some core technological strategies coming to the picture, but those technologies might be dependent on some specific aspects. So those aspects are listed over here. So first aspect is that you should always focus on optimizing the kind of resilience operations or the trust in your company as well as the technological trends. Then secondly, we have the scalability. So always try to scale the productivity and the customer value. Means these are the fundamental of any business. In any business, you need to do like these sort of things. You need to consistently try to pioneer something. Doesn't matter whether it's the student, customer engagement, whether it's the product specifications, whether it's the kind of engineering that you are doing at your side. So the kind of tools and techniques and the product you are bringing to the market, that should have some sort of pioneering component inside it. Otherwise, your competitors are going to just run over you. So these are some of the related things. Finally, and the most importantly, I am going to focus on to that your technology, whatever technology you are going to adopt, must be a kind of sustainable technology. Because if it's not a sustainable technology, then specifically over the period of time, you are not going to maintain the kind of thing which is required. So it is supposed to adapt the kind of technological changes which are going to come in the future, and it is supposed to sustain over the period of time successfully. Doesn't matter how specifically the odds come in the way. Then if we talk about the specifically on the specific part of these particular four aspects, then coming to the first aspect where we talked about the optimize. So you need to work on the digital immune system. You are supposed to have the kind of observability automation and the kind of testing system that helps you to deliver the resilient systems. And the resilient systems, so obviously the term itself says the meaning that the systems which are immune to the kind of risks. So you should have some sort of technological strategies to protect your system against the kind of risk which are present in the market. Secondly, you should have the applied observability. So whenever you are going to have the observability, so this thing is going to come with some sort of foresight, and foresight is going to come with the some sort of technology or the automation that is working behind the scene. So we do very well know, we do know very well that the kind of artificial intelligence we are having in present time, it is going to drive us what? It is going to drive us with its automation. It is going to drive us with its kind of foresightness, which is going to offer us the right sort of decision making in future. So when you are talking about the observability and that is applied, so obviously you are going to apply the kind of experience you have gained over the period of time, but it's not always possible for a human. So that's why we need machines. We need some sort of automatic procedures which help us to drive the organization just by having the right sort of analysis and the recommendations. So that's why you are supposed to reduce your specific risk and the kind of system you are going to gonna need that is supposed to optimize the business operations, and those business operations are supposed to get optimized in real time with the help of right observability. Coming to the TRISM, so as I told you that it stands for the trust, risk, and the kind of management. So here we are supposed to have the right governance, the right sort of reliability, the actual robustness that we are focusing in the system. Additionally, it is supposed to deploy new models to maintain the right sort of security policies in the system and the controls for the privacy and the ethical issues. So when we focus on these related terms, by default, the TRISM gets covered. Coming on to the second specific priority that we discussed already, that was scale. That scale your system or your business in the right way. So whenever you are going for cloud adoption, as I told you, that cloud has become a kind of major technology in present time, and it has consistently increased over the period of time in last 10 years. So in industry domain, when you go there, then there are multiple models of cloud. So usually cloud has the SaaS plus S. So we have the software as a system, software as a specific standard. So software as a service, then platform as a service, then infrastructure as a service are going to get exploited in industrial domain because there are lots of more bots, the kind of machines are working. They are having the kind of right communication together. And all these things are being done in an automated way. So you must be thinking that when thousands of small components and the kind of APIs are communicating together, how the kind of orchestration and the security is being managed. So that's the real challenge, and that's why you should come up with the right sort of tailoring software, the right sort of maintenance or the orchestration software, which is gonna help you deliver the right sort of efficient mechanism, which is supposed to be needed by you. So you are supposed to dependent on a specific technology. With respect to cloud platform, they are discussing only SaaS PaaS, where they are talking and focusing on the software platform and the infrastructure aspect. But other than this, usually people do say that in cloud computing, it is XaaS, means anything as a service. So whatever you talk about, whether you are talking about not only the software infrastructure and the platform, you are supposed to have the security as a service. You are supposed to have the kind of web services as a service. You are gonna have the kind of robustness as a service. So when you are having these sort of things, these are not gonna come out of space. These are supposed to come with the well thought planning, well thought strategies. And when we are focusing on the kind of strategies for business models, you need to have in mind that what sort of priorities I should have with respect to my business. Then only you are supposed to have the right technology at right time. Secondly, we have the platform engineering. So whenever you are having a platform, for example, if we take the example of platform as a service also, then the kind of vendor which is offering this service, it is supposed to maintain the right sort of tools and the technologies at its side to offer the customer, means you, the cloud user, the right sort of service. Otherwise, he's gonna leave. He's gonna choose some other vendor. So that's the beauty of cloud. You have multiple vendors over there in terms of cloud, and then you just are supposed to choose one of them, whichever is the best. So how do you choose the best vendor? How do you go for the right sort of platform? It depends on the kind of engineering behind it. And that's why when you have the right sort of tools which are gonna offer you the right capabilities and the processes which are required for the actual development of your platform or the business, then it is gonna be termed as the right platform engineering. So you need to focus on to this particular thing when you are scaling, because with scale, it is difficult to maintain the services as well as the kind of engineering behind it. Thirdly, we have the wireless value realization. Here we have the different services from wireless. Now, as we do know that in present time, almost everything is gone wireless, or it is going to be if it hasn't gone yet. So in real time, we do need lots of computations or the sort of analytics, but many times it doesn't happen, because many times when we have the wireless connections, the kind of latency issues we face in the networks, or the kind of devices we are having in wireless environment, are bit kind of restricted in capacity or in constraints, because there are limited constraints with respect to wireless devices. Those are not so powerful like wired devices. So the kind of actual connectivity issues, the kind of connectivity status, the kind of specific kind of devices and the solutions, the digital solutions you are having with respect to this whole wireless ecosystem. All these things together decide your value of a wireless system. So you need to realize this thing, that what is the wireless network value or the ecosystem value you are having it in present time. Because in future, if you scale, then how specifically or how accurately that particular wireless ecosystem is gonna support the scale. So if a more number of users come into your network, if I give you a simple example, suppose you have a wireless network of 10 servers, okay, or 10 systems, and you are offering some sort of service, a minor cloud service. If I say, then suppose there are thousands of users are using your service for a particular day or for a particular period of time. Now suppose another 1,000 add up on the very next day. Is your system gonna support it? If it is not, then it is gonna bust or it is gonna go down. Then what sort of services or the sort of value realization you are having in your system? These things you need to see. Additionally, the kind of analysis you are doing at the backside, it is very important, because it is only going to decide you the right sort of information for you, and it is going to reduce whether you are going in the right direction or not. Then we have the third focus or the priority, that is pioneering. So as I told you that to be the kind of pioneer in a particular field, you always need the consistent innovation. So pioneering is important, because if you are the first one or the leading ones in a particular field, you are gonna have the added advantage. If we talk about the cloud computing, then Amazon came up with this very sort of idea of the kind of user services agreement or the kind of enhancement with the help of cloud computing. So right now you can see the Amazon Web Service is one of the most pioneering vendor or the provider in the field of cloud computing. So here we see that we have multiple things related to pioneering, like we have the super apps. Super apps means these are not the simple apps. These combine the features of multiple things, like it combines the features of the particular ecosystem, like the wireless ecosystem, the kind of platform you are using, the kind of application you are using, and then it is going to offer you the full-fledged specific use case as well as the kind of features which are required for a specific party just to develop its own specific business in a specific way. So super apps are gonna to consider all the existing and the underlying requirements, and then gonna you deliver the best out of the existing options. Then you have the adaptive AI. As the name itself is saying that AI is already been there, but it should be adaptive, means according to the changes, according to the needs of the time, it is supposed to change its behavior and adjust the kind of parameters which are coming in the way. So whenever we are in a particular specific runtime environment, we are having lots of different things, lots of different kind of data, the kind of models which it is working on. So these models need to train themselves, means that they need to adjust themselves in such a way so that continuously over the period of time, it doesn't matter whether you are in a hard real-time system or a soft real-time system, the system is managing itself and with the help of some heuristic, and that heuristic is being directed with some sort of AI. So that's the fundamental motto of the adaptive AI. Ultimately, it is gonna to help you to adapt the real-time circumstances as well as the kind of constraints which are coming into the picture. Then we have the metaverse. If you're a technology enthusiast, definitely you must have heard of metaverse. Metaverse is nothing where it is a kind of virtual world where the people are gonna replicate their own sort of activities or the sort of behavior patterns. So they are supposed to meet with other people, do the kind of things which they do in the real world. The only difference that now it is done in a virtual world. So it's a kind of combination of multiple technology, like where they are having the computer graphics, vision, the kind of AI, and the sort of models which are driving this whole specific technological new thing. So when we have the metaverse, you are supposed to see the kind of capabilities that you can have in metaverse, the kind of things you can do in metaverse, and these things gonna offer you added advantage in the coming future year, because metaverse is still in its development and it has not gone mature like cloud. So if you are a pioneer, if you are starting early, then obviously gonna exploit the kind of benefits of metaverse. Moving further, we have the last focus which we discussed, and that is sustainable technology. So as I told you that it doesn't matter in which time you are working or what's the current time when you started. Every time you need a sustainable technology to drive yourself, because if you are not using a sustainable technology, or a technology itself, means suppose you are a technology less company, then definitely you are going to leave behind, because so many different companies, even the companies who are not having a single office or the kind of location based companies, they are running on cloud and they are using hundreds of services, they are running successfully, making millions of dollars. How? It is just because they are using the right sort of technology, the sustainable technologies at the right time. And sustainable technology doesn't mean that you are using one technology and continuously over the period of time you are consistently using it, not at all changing anything. No, sustainable means it is sustaining, it is adding the different changes, it is coping up against the odds. Additionally, it is making the right sort of decision at the right time. For example, if the technology is demanding some new added component, some extension or the kind of add-on API, then you should go for that. It will automatically suggest you with the help of existing AI mechanism behind it. So that sort of a composite technology framework you need, which is not a single technology, which is a combination of multiple technologies, and gonna you offer a bunch of sustainable technology in a single package. So that's the idea of sustainable technology. And coming to the conclusion of this particular work, we are gonna focus again on the four specific points, as I told you, that you are as a businessman, you are supposed to always, and I will not focus on businessman also, as a general person, as any technological person or company. You are supposed to focus on optimizing things, try to scale as and when required, try to pioneer always. Additionally, try to look for a sustainable technology adoption always. So whenever you are going for the right sort of package of all these four components, you are gonna always rock, because nobody is gonna touch you because you are always pioneering. Nobody gonna scale you down because you are always scaling up. Nobody gonna put the odds against you because you are always optimizing the methods, and nobody is gonna make you lag behind because you are working, taking help of a sustainable technology. So that's all from my side. Hope you must have liked the video. If you didn't like, please do comment below and let me know how we can improve the kind of discussions or the videos in future. If we have done something right, please do comment below also and let us know what sort of right direction we can follow in the future. We'll definitely consider your comments and we'll try to improve based on your inputs. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.